And as she went by, I waved to her. And she waved back. I think she maybe even smiled.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 times cartoons crossed over into real life.
I'm Nick Kroll, creator of Big Mouth, and I guess like grown-up, real-life you.
For this list, we'll be looking at moments, scenes, and full-on storylines that involve animated characters coming one step closer to our own three-dimensional world through live-action segments or meta-commentary. We're focusing on television rather than feature-length animation. Which animated character would you like to meet? Let us know in the comments down below. Number 10, Henry and June Get Real, Kablam. This Nicktoon combined a variety of styles and mediums, with hosts Henry and June turning the pages. The duo dreams of visiting the real world, but how does one get there? Turns out that the gateway is a door in their studio. How convenient.
Hey, what's this? Real world?
Come on, June. Let's get real.
The real world is anything but convenient though. Complete with pain and poor dubbing, Henry and June aren't as pioneering as they think, as Mr. Foot already made contact with the real world.
Here you go, Footski. The usual.
At least that's one mystery solved, but another remains. Who played the live-action Henry and June? Some speculate it was voice actors Noah Segan and Julia McIlvaine, but it's never been confirmed. In any case, this was a fun detour, making the ordinary extraordinary.
We gotta be going, really.
Please don't use that word.
Oh, right.
Number 9, Nega meets his maker, the Fairly OddParents.
Normal people control your entire existence.
Lies! Actually, it's true.
See that? That's the guy who writes the stories for your comic book.
The live-action Fairly OddParents movies and shows haven't exactly been universally praised. However, the blending of mediums was effectively utilized for this segment. The villainous Nega realizes that he always loses because the author behind the comics is pulling every string. Nega thus pays a visit to Elmer Marmalman. Elmer is actually Butch Hartman's real first name, while Marmalman pays tribute to the episode's co-writer Steve Marmal. If you think that's bizarre, Elmer is played by Patton Oswalt.
Special delivery for the geek who writes the Crimson Chin.
Oh, I hope it's my new issue of Nerds Who Live With Their Mothers Monthly.
When this episode started, we didn't expect it to culminate in a character voiced by Jay Leno beating up the future voice of Remy the Rat. The leap to live action is equally unexpected, adding another level of surrealness to this clash between the creator and his creation.
Mom, I'm going out.
Number 8, Nick fights with himself, Big Mouth. It's no secret that Big Mouth is co-creator Nick Kroll's depraved way of unpacking his childhood issues. The only one who didn't get the memo was Nick Birch, Kroll's younger counterpart.
Look at you. Little me, you look great. What?
Looking to file a complaint, Nick meets his older live-action self, who isn't afraid to remind audiences that he was in that Geico Caveman show. Although Nick has a bone to pick with himself, he finds that the only one responsible for his current circumstances is himself. It's not as confusing as we're making it sound.
Where do you get the gall to create me just to torture me?
Great use of the word gall.
No, you're the writer. You wrote that line. You're just complimenting yourself.
The more well-rounded Kroll put things into perspective for his younger caricature, telling him to stop being hateful and to be grateful for his loved ones.
All the shit I've been blaming Walter for is kind of my fault.
Yeah, basically. You wanted to know who's in charge? Well, it's you.
Mixing meta humor with coming-of-age insight, it's what Big Mouth does best. Number 7, the not really last one, Aqua Teen Hunger Force. This episode starts in typical Aqua Teen fashion, and by typical, we mean with our main characters blowing up. Turns out that this is just a story being scribed by the human version of Master Shake, Don Shake.
I don't think it's very good, and I don't think you're very good at what you're trying to do here.
That's impossible.
Of course, this Shake sounds less like Dana Snyder and more like Sterling Archer or Bob Belcher. Along with H. John Benjamin, Frylock is played by rapper T-Pain, while an exercise ball channels Meatwad. The role of Carl went to David Long Jr., who won a Burger King sponsored casting call. This remains his only IMDb credit.
Do you think I could sell it?
Do you?
The real scene stealer is the practical set, which faithfully recreates the Aqua teen's house in all of its simplistic glory. It's almost like Pee-wee's Playhouse, but cheaper and somehow even weirder.
I dropped my pen. That's why I was down there.
Wait. My ending.
Number 6, The Blair Witch's Ghost, the Scooby-Doo Project.
Hello, I'm Velma Dinkley, and this is a documentary of one of our mysteries. That's Scooby-Doo, Fred Jones, and Daphne Blake.
Hey, how you doing?
We could make a top 10 list of the best Cartoon Network bumpers, but for now, let's focus on what's widely considered their masterpiece. Airing as commercial segments before being edited into an Annie Award-winning special, the Scooby-Doo Project goes beyond merging live action and animation. It brilliantly balances tones, with the gang fitting in surprisingly well with the found-footage subgenre.
What are you talking about?
Like, I don't know. Things just look more realistic.
This satirical approach brings out a more cynical side of the gang. You can tell that the creators understand this franchise and love these characters, except maybe Scrappy-Doo, who's scarier than anything else lurking in the woods.
Daphne, stop! It's just Scrappy-Doo! I know!
The end product is especially impressive, knowing that Blair Witch came out only a couple of months earlier with a remarkable turnaround. Number 5, The Trusty Slab, SpongeBob SquarePants. SpongeBob has ventured to the live-action surface world a few times, usually in crude puppet form. In other instances, such as Bubble Bowl, the characters remain animated.
These are some ugly-looking fish.
Maybe we're near one of those toxic waste dumps.
Excluding feature films, the most ambitious live-action expedition comes in the Big Birthday Blowout special. Taking a tour above water, SpongeBob crosses paths with several celebrities, including a familiar Hasselhoff. Matters get especially self-referential with a trip to the Trusty Slab.
What's the holdup here, Mr. Manward?
How should I know? Go ask your persnickety fry cook. Between him and this other idiot, we're not gonna make it through the lunch wash alive.
After 20 years of hearing their voices, Tom Kenny, Bill Fagerbakke, Roger Bumpus, Clancy Brown, Carolyn Lawrence, and Mr. Lawrence are given some overdue screen time in a segment that may be more over the top than the animated portion.
I love this guy!
Kenny resurfaces again as Patchy the Pirate, who sends his head to SpongeBob in their long-anticipated meeting. Number 4, Live Action Guy, Family Guy. Family Guy is no stranger to the live-action realm. In one case, Peter took a psychedelic trip with things getting too real. Cause look, you don't need to do Toad to get real. However, you just need Stewie's multiverse remote.
Prepare yourself, Brian, and I'll show you.
The Griffins have crossed paths with numerous live-action celebrities, from Bill Maher to Alyssa Milano to Gene Kelly.
Mr. Kelly, will you show us?
I'll show you.
Let's do it.
Good.
The live-action segments have also called the Griffins' very existence into question. Supposedly, their universe exists within a lampshade owned by Rob Lowe and Adam West. Seth MacFarlane's father narrated another episode, while one of the show's strangest outings took place in Pam Ewing's dream. We can only think of one way to close out this entry. Ladies and gentlemen, Conway Twitty.
Yikes, looks like I need a distraction. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Conway Twitty.
Number 3, Facing Reality, South Park. South Park has encountered live-action guinea pigs and Malcolm McDowell, but few moments have been more surprising than seeing the boys in the real world. The first example comes in the episode I Should Have Never Gone Ziplining, which recaps the boys' latest misadventure.
4 young boys in Colorado are on a trip from hell.
The shift to live action contributes to the reality show parody, although technically, this segment is only a reenactment with adult actors filling in for the boys. If you wanted to see the boys get real, just wait until season 18's Grounded Vindaloo. Removing his Oculus Rift, Stan goes from two-dimensional character to real boy. Kyle, Kenny, Cartman, and Butters are present as well, curious about Stan's VR trip. It's immersive, but Stan has some gripes about the animation quality.
It's pretty cool, but the graphics suck.
Number 2, another dimension, The Simpsons. If you ever wonder what The Simpsons would look like in real life, the opening sequence was recreated for a Sky One promo and couch gag. The animated family has also fallen into the real world, usually in Treehouse of Horror episodes.
Boring.
I'm telling you, this cilantro really gives it a zing!
While channel surfing, Bart and Lisa land in Regis and Kathy Lee's cooking pot. The funniest example comes in Treehouse of Horror 6, when Homer's trip to the third dimension goes haywire. He winds up in an even more realistic environment.
Piece of cake, son.
The dumpster is in Sherman Oaks, Los Angeles, but the street that Homer uncomfortably walks down was shot on Ventura Boulevard in Studio City. Fox felt the shoot would be too expensive, but we're glad director David Merkin pulled it off.
Ooh, erotic cakes.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, Looney and Live, Looney Tunes. Yeah, we know the classic shorts debuted theatrically, but with so many generations discovering the Looney Tunes through TV, it'd be a disservice to exclude them.
You should not talk mean like that, because there he is.
Welcome to Sherwood.
Few animated characters have had as many memorable brushes with the real world. Bugs Bunny has met Errol Flynn's Robin Hood, partied with the cast of Romance on the High Seas, and even attended the Academy Awards, where he was despicably snubbed in favor of James Cagney.
Who will win the Oscar?
It's in the bag.
You Ought to Be in Pictures is a particularly clever short with Porky asking Leon Schlesinger to tear up his contract. This mirrors real life, as director Freeze Freeling briefly left Warner Brothers to work at MGM. After serving Fred Quimby, Freeling happily returned to Mr. Schlesinger just like Porky.
I knew you'd come back. About that contract, I didn't tear it up. Now get back to the studio and go to work.
Gee, that's swell.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.